Hello everyone, James.Smullin here. I'm a pleasure to stand up and speak to you again today about a topic that I learned from one of my last semester, being a senior here at ISU. I went through a great class of a class called Information Security and learned about a lot of topics that I don't think a lot of people know about or are aware of, and that's the topic of ransomware, cyber criminals, and how they're affecting us and how they're affecting our businesses and what tactics they're using. So I want to share with you a handout that I had, slide 4 of my slide presentation, but I handed this handout to all you guys. I want to be able to share with you now these graphics or these stats that I grabbed from actually Heimdall Security website, and they brought out some scary information that I want to share with you. So in 2016, the FBI were tracking 19 individuals of the most wanted cyber criminals out there. These people are ones that have taken a lot of money and have access to a lot of businesses through the cyber criminal acts that they do. And it was 19 in 2016. In 2018, that list grew to 41 individuals. So it grew by 53% in just 2 years. And one of the major groups of these people is called Game Over Zeus, or GAZ. And since 2011, this group has actually hit 1.2 million computers in their actions. So again, guys, these cyber criminals, these people that the FBI are watching, they're serious. They're professionals. They're not just guys in their garages. This is a full-time business and a full-time job for them, to where they're getting lots and lots and lots of money. And this money that they've gained is actually from the emergence of the Bitcoin in 2008. So the Bitcoin is actually very hard to trace. The FBI has talked about how before they were able to catch criminals because they could follow the money, they could follow how they're doing it, and they could trace the money. Where now this is all digital, it's very hard to trace. There's lots of loopholes. Computer programs are relentless at changing how those things are going, and it's hard for them to trace that. And so it's hard for them to catch these criminals because they can't follow the money as easily as they could before. So again, I want to talk about ransomware, what it is, how it affects us. I want to be able to talk about a topic of social engineering, what tactics they're using to be able to get to us, and I want to be able to briefly talk about some of the things that we can do ourselves to help keep ourselves safe. So again, in this world of social media, what these guys are doing, again, social engineering, is they're using our own human nature against us. So I want to talk about that for a brief second, is that we are the strongest individuals of our company. We are the ones that are going to be able to be the ones who are not clicking on things, not allowing access to our companies, and not allowing people access to our computers. Or we could be the total opposite, and we could be the weakest link. Because if we don't know about these things, if we don't know about this topic, we're not going to be able to watching out for these things, and we're going to be able to allow somebody to get into our personal files or our company's files and do a lot of damage. So what these guys are doing in social media, they're using the like page. That's all over the place. We're liking everything, right? We're clicking on Facebook, we're clicking on Twitter, and we're liking, okay? But what they're using now is they're actually setting up fictitious likes on websites. And you click on it, and it actually allows your computer, because you clicked on it, that allows that software program that says, yes, I accept, and you're downloading information on your computer, or a malicious software program that's now going to watch your computer. It's called a sniffer. It's going to look at what you're doing, watch your keystrokes, find out information, and then they're going to be able to have your identity, or they're going to have access to your bank accounts. They're also doing a similar tactic called link jacking, where they do the same thing. They set up a fictitious link, and you're going to click on it, and it's going to send you to a website that you think is where you're going, but it's actually a fictitious website, and they're going to be watching you and doing all these things on your computer that you don't want them to do, but you think you're just browsing the web, and you're just going to be going to those sites. Another common tactic is called phishing. We all know about this. They send us emails, they send us pop-ups, and they want us to be able to click on this because we want a free iPad, or we want a free cruise and trip. And they're doing these things because they think that they're going to catch our excitement and we're going to want to do it. So we click on it, and then now they're in, and they're on our computer. And so they're accessing things that we don't want them to access. We're actually allowing them to do that. And so again, a huge tactic that they're doing now is called social engineering. So I refer to slide 1 of my slide presentation. And social engineering is actually a tactic they're using to, again, they're attacking our human nature. So they're attacking a lot of things that we're afraid of authority, we're afraid of people, we might be willing to help people, we want to trust people, we want to gain those. So what they're doing is they're having actors, they're having these professional people who, just like out of the movies, they're gaining our trust, they're gaining access to our personal information because they're asking about us. So they're asking about our grandmas, our moms, our dogs, our cats, things that we make our passwords out of. They're getting that information, or they're gaining access to our businesses and our companies because we trust them, and so we allow them places where we shouldn't get them to go. And so they're doing a lot of the same tactics. They're using phishing tactics. They're using what's a tactic called quid pro quo. So we're going to give them something because either they're asking us, or they're going to give us money, and we're going to allow them access to places. Or one big huge tactic is they use a tactic called tailgating. So When we go into our business or we go into our home, we just open the door, we walk right on in, and they're gonna gain access to our business because they're gonna follow right behind us and gain access to our business because we allowed them in the door. So we gotta make sure that we're watching out for those. And especially with all these HIPAA violations and HIPAA laws, these people are attacking the medical industry, and this is where they're getting their money, and this is where they're gaining because companies don't want to lose face, they don't want to lose that trust with the public because they've been accessed, and so what they're doing is they're using through the employees and such. They're using ransomware. So what that is it's a software program that gets on the computer that actually encrypts your files. So it changes your files so you can't access them. Okay, this is the most and latest way that they're doing this. And so what they do is you'll see a message on your computer screen. It comes up and it says, hey, your computer has been accessed and you have 1 day to give us an amount of money. The growing amount for just a local person like you and I is $350. In March of this year, the city of Atlanta was hit, and that group asked for $51,000. It took them 6 days to gain access to their computers again. The whole city of Atlanta was shut down. So again, driver's license records, medical records, all that was actually shut down for 6 days because this group had control of their computers. And so this is how they're doing it. This is how they're gaining it. And so again, companies will pay that money because they don't want this information to get out or leaked because they don't want to be able to pay the fines of HIPAA violations or get shut down or have, again, a loss of trust with the public. So this is how they're doing it. They're attacking us and they're gaining access to where we want to be. So how do we protect ourselves? How do we get ourselves away from these guys? And so there's a lot of things that we can do. I want to share with a few of them with you. So we need to keep our computer system up to date. We need to be able to keep our operating systems up to date. So watch for those updates. Tell your computer to be able to update when it's supposed to, and keep your software programs current again with the latest version. Those are going to be able to have programs from the makers to where they're going to be watching for these things and trying to get these things out of our way. I refer to slide 3 of my slide presentation because I want to talk about passwords. That's one of the hugest things that we can do as people, especially at your work, at your business, or at home, is change your passwords often, guys. That's one big thing we can do. Okay, there's 3 main things. The one is change your passwords often, don't share them with people, and don't leave them lying around, and so where anybody can gain access to it. We can also make sure that we have a good firewalls, good antivirus software, and the biggest thing is always keep a backup of your data. There's a lot of cloud storage nowadays that's fairly inexpensive to have, and you can have all your photos, you can have all your videos on there. So I know like Google Drives and the Apple iCloud, those are a lot of great things that you can have some backup storage on there. And again, guys, just again, train yourselves. Watch those phishing emails. Look out for those things. Look out for these ways that these guys are attacking us because they're relentless. They're professionals. Like I said, this is an industry now. This is a business that people have built in gaining money and gaining access to us. So in conclusion, we've talked about these groups that are getting big. We've talked about social engineering and social media and how they're attacking us through those ways. We've also talked about ransomware, what it is and what it does. And we've also talked about some ways in which we can keep ourselves safe. And that's the biggest thing, and that's the most important message that I want to share with you guys, is that, again, we can either be the strongest link or the weakest link to ourselves and our businesses, and we have to educate ourselves. Thank you.